Everyone. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining today. It is a very hot day here in August, here in Oklahoma, where I'm at. And I'm in zone 7. It is, oh gosh, I think it's been like close to 100 or over 100 pretty much like the past week solid. I feel like it's been very hot, but I'm looking forward to hopefully cool weather up ahead. But if you guys are anything like me, you all have plenty of garden problems. I know I definitely do with this heat. So I figured what better time whenever I'm struggling with the heat in the garden than to meet with you guys, and we can all talk about our problems together and hopefully solve some of the things going on. Um, but welcome if it's your first time. Thank you so much for joining. My name is Carrie. My husband Dale and I are the creators of the Seed to Spoon app, Park Seeds app from Seed to Spoon. We started gardening back over 10 years ago now. It's crazy to think. But we knew absolutely nothing when we started. We were like, I really wish that there's an app to help us out along the way. And then we were like, well, you know what? Why don't we just build one? So we ended up doing that. And yeah, the app that you know and love today. Hopefully, if you don't have the app, here, let me pop up the QR code right there. Scan that QR code right there and check it out. It's free to download. There are premium features on there, but so much of this is free as well too. You can go through growing guides for over like 150 different fruits, vegetables, herbs, flowers, and give you exact planting dates based on your location, help you with a visual garden layout, plant problems. I mean, you name it's there to help. So scan that QR code if you don't already have the app. Check it out. It's awesome. And plus, we are actually doing a giveaway too for a free 1-year premium Seed to Spoon app subscription. So with premium, it just kind of kicks it up a little bit and you get extra features. So with the premium, you get unlimited gardens, like these visual gardens that you can lay out. You can get unlimited gardens that you can create, unlimited plants you can do. You can send up pictures to GrowBot for like, what's wrong with my plant? Or if there's, you need some plant help or pest identification, anything like that, you can send up pictures. Plus, you get free shipping on all of your orders through Park Seed. So that right there is huge. So make sure you stick around because one of you today will be lucky and get a free premium app subscription. So congratulations. Thank you so much for the vote of confidence there. Best app. Yes. I may be partial, but I think so too. I mean, I use it all the time myself. So it's awesome. Yeah, so I am live every Tuesday, pretty much just hanging out, chatting, gardening. But we always do a giveaway too during this live stream, as well as after the fact too, because I feel bad that not all of you are able to join for the entire hour or join us at all until like the next day or things like that. So I always run a after the fact giveaway too. So we had a giveaway last week that was open from when it ended up through right before this started. And I drew a winner from those that entered. By the way, all you need to do to enter is simply just leave a comment. So if you are live with us today, just simply drop into the chat, say hi, let us know where you're joining from. If you have a plant problem, pop it in there too, and we can chat about it. So our winner from last week, we have a congratulations to, I'm not going to attempt to say this name, but I have it right there. Congratulations. Send me an email. The email address is right here. It's info@seedtospoon.net, and I will get you all hooked up with your free giveaway that you got from last week. So last week we talked all about what to do in August, like what plants you can still sneak in, what seeds you should be starting indoors, and yeah, all of that. So if you missed it, go check it out. It is still on our YouTube and Facebook, so you can go find that and check it out. So I see a whole bunch of you all here. Hi, everybody. Oh, yay. You won before. I love it. Awesome. Hopefully you're enjoying your free year because oh man, I don't know. I don't think I could live probably without it anymore, especially all of the seed starting that I do indoors because I put everything in the app and it makes me feel organized. I know what's growing where because it's funny because I have so many here. I'll show you guys just a quick picture of one of these. I don't even let's see a recent-ish picture here. Our garden has like exploded since this I think was taken like a month ago or so. But it's this now, but just like even more. But the other day I was like, I remember, I know I had a purple tomato I was growing. I was like, where did I plant that again? So I just pulled up the app and I searched for my purple Cherokee tomato, and I was like, oh yeah, it's right there. And so now I need to go find and see if I can harvest from it. So I was like, surely I know I have some out there because I've been harvesting like crazy on all of my other tomatoes, like my Whoppers and things like that. And I was like, I feel like I should have some of those too. So I'm going to go check it soon. Yay! All my fall seeds spreaded. That's awesome news. I love it. Former two-time winner. Awesome. I love it. No, nobody is ever banned from winning again. Everybody gets equal opportunity around here. Okay. Yeah. So if you guys have any sort of questions or garden problems or anything like that, pop them in the chat and we will go over them too. But I do have, oh man, I have been dealing with my fair share of garden problems. If you are following on my Instagram, I'm sure you've seen, I've been having some mysterious creatures, I guess, coming through the garden and taking little bites out of things. So it's frustrating. But yes, we are hopefully going to solve that soon. Okay. So let's talk a few things that may be going on in your garden. And we did already mention to the giveaway. So make sure that if you guys are here live with me today, that you're commenting into the chat. And also, I mean, we're live on YouTube and Facebook, so one or the other. And then I will announce a winner from all of you live right at the end of today. And then also too, if you're watching after the fact, still leave a comment because you will be entered in to win the actual one after too. So we got two of them. Oh man, it looks like you guys, yeah. I love this. Harry Warp says, I know what my garden's problem is. It's been over 100. Yes. And to be honest, like this is what my plants looked like yesterday when I went out there. I was like, oh my gosh, my plants were just like, they had enough. They were like, this is way too hot for me. And I'm just like, because it had been a day since I had watered because I didn't water. Let's see. So I watered yesterday, but I went out yesterday beforehand and I hadn't watered the day before. And I was like, oh my gosh, it was like dry as a bone. This is what they looked like. I was like, man, but luckily they recovered great. But this is a common problem and it happens a lot. And it is because of the heat and your soil is drying out a lot faster. And yeah, it happens and it's going to happen to everybody. The best thing you can do, just first, if you see this, just double check that it's water before you actually water them. Typically what I do is I just go stick my finger in the soil in a few places. And I mean, you can honestly kind of tell just by looking at it too. But if you're unsure, just stick your finger into the soil. If it's dry up to your knuckle, needs water. If you feel some moisture, then you're good. And you probably need to look for other causes for the wilting. Sometimes it can be as simple as they're struggling because of the heat too. So sometimes if you want to look into things like adding some shade cloth or just some sort of protection from the afternoon sun, that would be really, really helpful. Yeah, looks like you guys are having problems with little creatures too. Yeah, my I don't know if mine is like bunnies, squirrels, deer. Like surely not deer because like I have dogs around and I have like a double fence, but yeah, I don't know. I never know. Yes. Something takes bites from it. Yeah, my tomato, it was like I had a huge whopper of a tomato and like I should have pulled it when I saw it because I was like, oh, that looks good, but I didn't have any room in my basket. I was like, I'll get it tomorrow. And I came out and there was like two like real big bites taken out. And I was like, no. I was so upset. I was like, I should have pulled it yesterday. What was I thinking? But yes, this is a good tip too. So like as soon as those tomatoes are starting to what's called blush, which means to turn colors, that's a good time to pull them. So nothing gets to it before you get to it too. Let's see. So I'm trying to make sure I keep up with all of your guys'. It looks like you guys are having lots of issues with bugs. So we will be talking bugs as well for each plant too. While we are on tomatoes, here I saw that the Casey says my tomato plants turned yellow. So yellow leaves can mean a few different things. Really, so sometimes it can be normal, like if they're like at the bottom and they're older and things like that. But typically, like if it's widespread or like rapidly progressing yellowing, I typically look at like the nutrient issues, like have you fertilized it recently? Typically like a lack of nitrogen. Or bring the Espoma tomato tone. I have it sitting right up there because I use it so often. And I have indoor tomatoes, so I just keep my tomato tone right there. But I do, I give the tomatoes like every couple weeks, I'm going out there and giving them some Espoma tomato tone. But usually like it typically means that, or I mean, possibly any sort of, like diseases and things like that too. So just be really careful whenever you are like pruning it, not to touch other, because it's so hard because there's so many different things that yellow could mean. Take a picture. I don't know if you have premium or not, but take a picture, send it up to Growbot, and they will tell you exactly what's wrong too, because yellow leaves can mean like depending on the type, like, you know, what it looks like. But that's like everything that it could mean. So look at fertilizing, look at like overwatering, look at, is it possible that it's just like a couple yellow leaves at the bottom, or is it like a disease that is coming in? Like it's hard to know. Yes. Thank you for calling this out. Yeah, for sure. Mulching is the 100, like I can't stress this enough on to do mulch, especially in the summer when the temperatures are how they are right now. I mean, at least like here where I am, it is very, very, very hot. We did get a good question here. So if I mulch in spring, do you mean I should remulch right around now? So it kind of just depends on what it looks like around the base of your plant. If some of it got washed away, absolutely, yeah, go through and add some more to the base of your plant, and it will help to insulate that soil, keep it moist for longer, as well as just keep it cooler too. So it helps with weeds, it helps with, I mean, it just helps with everything. And I can't stress enough, yes, mulch. Thank you. Let's see. Sorry, I'm laughing at some of y'all's comments here. But okay, so with the tomatoes, I mean, there's a few other things that could be going on. So like this picture down here is what's called blossom end rot. I typically get I'm gonna cross my fingers and knock on wood down here. I haven't had a lot of blossom end rot this month because typically, well, I'd say it's good and bad, but typically when I'm dealing with blossom end rot, it's when we're getting a lot of rain. And it's just like, it's just the inconsistent watering that tomatoes in particular are super finicky about. They need to have consistent moisture, like knowing just like water them this much each day, or else it's going to get blossom end rot. And that essentially is just like where the nutrients are getting washed out of the soil because you're watering so much. So again, just fertilizing as much as possible. And if it's you doing the watering, just correct your watering habits and make sure you're doing that right. Some other things that can happen is cracking of the tomatoes, again, from inconsistent watering, as well as maybe you just left it sitting on the vine for too long. So try to harvest earlier whenever it's more just like starting to blush, like we talked about earlier. And then I don't know about you all, how we're doing with like the tomato hornworms, but luckily I still have yet to see a tomato hornworm out there. And with all of these tomatoes, I don't know how I've managed to stay away from it, but luckily the tomato hornworms are hiding out and going somewhere else. But if you are having tomato hornworm issues, that's what that beautiful picture is down on the bottom over there. Those suckers are huge if you haven't seen them in real life, but they hide really well in your tomatoes. And it's actually very difficult to see them. You will more just notice that a lot of your leaves have just disappeared suddenly overnight. They're just like, something's missing here. And usually you can track it down and find where that tomato hornworm is hiding. Or I've heard tips from you guys of going out with a black light and going and checking out and looking for the tomato hornworms. So that's definitely fun to do too. Yeah, you guys seem lucky too. Awesome. Esther says no hornworm yet. Harry Warp says, I haven't found a hornworm yet either. Knock on wood. I know. I'm like knocking on wood as I say this, like cross my fingers, knock, like, yes. Do I have a picture of a hornworm damaged plant? I definitely do, but not here. I do on my phone from, let's see, I had like 2 years ago, because last year, believe it or not, too, like I didn't find any hornworms the year before either. So, but 2 years ago, I did have several of them that just got wiped. So I will find a picture of it, and I will find that. Should be easy enough to find. Yes, I know. I've believe it or not, I've actually like hoping. I'm like, I really want like one just so I can find him and go take the black light out there. But hey, we had fun though, just taking the black light out and walking through the garden, because a lot of things, like, and a lot of critters lit up. We saw lots of eyes, and like it was pretty fun. So I highly recommend doing that and just taking the kids out and doing a nighttime walk through the garden with bug spray. Okay. So cucumbers, for sure, are something else that right now a lot of my cucumbers are starting to struggle just because of the heat and like just so many different reasons, that so many things that I'm battling right now. But common issues that I see for cucumbers are things like bitterness. Like I get this question a lot actually of, okay, why are my cucumbers bitter? Like, surely they're not supposed to taste like this, right? I'm like, well, I mean, depending on the variety, sometimes it can be one that's a little bit more bitter, but most of the time bitterness just comes from like the heat, watering habits. I mean, it really just depends. There's, there's a lot of things, but typically, again, yeah, that inconsistent watering that we talked about, like just trying to stay on top of making sure to have watering done on the same schedule and all of that too. And then yellow leaves again on cucumbers can mean a few different things, but it can also mean disease or fertilizer because they can be heavy feeders. So again, fertilizing, I use Espoma tomato tone, or I also like just on hand too. I will toss some extra like compost or something like that if I notice I start having issues. But typically, if I'm noticing yellow on cucumbers, I'm looking for these guys because these guys spread the mosaic virus to cucumbers, and they are, yeah, that's no good, no good for your cucumbers. And you want to try to get rid of those cucumber bugs, those cucumber beetles, as soon as you see them, because they will spread that virus throughout. And the best way that yeah, that's what I was seeing a lot of people be battling with cucumber beetles this year. Yeah, they are bad. Whenever my kids, we were out there not too long ago, and they're like, "Oh, look, it's yellow ladybugs." I was like, "No, those are bad. Those are not good. They're not ladybugs," because that is common. People see them and they're like, "Oh, that's interesting." I'm like, "Yep, but they're bad." So I will say one of the best things you can do is creating like cucumber beetle traps, or the yellow sticky traps work really well for them too. Those are the two things that I do. But I also, yeah, I was going to say, I also do a lot of hand picking too when I see them. You can either squash them, or you can just like, I do a lot of the times this year, I will go through with a jar of water and water with soap in it, and I just toss all sorts of creatures in there. I'm like, okay, yeah, let's get the cucumber beetles, let's get the harlequin bugs, let's get the squash bugs, all of them go in there. Yeah. Oh, yes. So this is true too. So sometimes cucumber beetles, they don't have to be spotted like this. There are ones that have stripes on them too. Yeah, I love it. Vacuum, bug vacuum. So if they have yellowing leaves, I'm assuming that's what you're asking about. So if they have yellowing leaves, first I would try to hopefully treat for, I'm hoping that it is a nutrient issue, but otherwise, like if it is the mosaic virus, like I mean, there's not a whole lot you can do except like slow it down, try to get the foliage off that is infected and dispose of it. Don't like share glove, like all the pruning that measures and all of that. Like make sure you're being just as careful as possible. And that's like what you need to do.
Is there something else I can help with?
Yeah. This is actually really true. If I can make it through August, they seem to do okay. I agree with a lot of these plants because August is generally one of the most difficult times because like the temperatures are so hot. At least it's for us, it's the temperatures and also the lack of rain too. So it's definitely definitely something to think about. Okay. Squash. I saw several comments earlier about squash and I was like, okay, I know we're coming to it. I have let's see if I can go. So, Malia, yes, actually there is. So believe it or not, there are solid stem varieties of squash. We've grown them like once or twice. They're just so hard to find. But yeah, I mean, technically, I will say the best things to do if you had like a huge issue this year is first thing in the spring next year, grow a blue Hubbard squash, plant it right where you had this main issue, and collect all of those squash bugs and squash vine borers right there on that blue Hubbard because they love the blue Hubbard squash. Like that is like their dessert. And then wait for them to all collect there, and then laugh maniacally as you take it out and put it in either a trash bag and immediately to the trash, or burn it, or whatever you do. That is something like that. That's a huge thing that you can do too. But besides that, like, I mean, pretty much all squashes, I mean, I just always know that I'm going to lose a squash or two every year. And like, I definitely, like, I've lost several myself. Oh, I'm sorry. The Casey's lost a couple too. Yeah, I lost one. I was out there yesterday and I was like, oh, yep, there's a squash vine borer, because you can see it at the stem. I know this picture is showing like the larva that's inside the squash vine borer, where the squash vine borer laid. But you can kind of see like at the base of the plant, it kind of like opens up and there's like gross stuff kind of coming out of it. Like essentially they're eating the stem of the squash from the inside out. And it's very gross looking, but I did have one that I lost to that, unfortunately. Yes. So Esther was saying some of these pests overwinter in soil. Yeah, absolutely. And that's what I was saying too, like in the very beginning of spring, like plant a trap crop and get all of them that way too. But you can absolutely try some solarization, which is just like heating up of the soil. So you can either put something over top of the soil and let the sun like bake it down. One thing that we do, I know my husband loves to go and get the flamethrower and go through, and he just like right where we had the squash, because never fails. We just have so many squash bugs. And yeah. But I love squash though, and I love cooking with squash and all of that. So I'm like, I definitely need to grow a whole bunch of it. So I just grow, I quite literally go out there and plant probably a zucchini plant, well, a zucchini seed like once every week or two. Like, and I'm still doing it because I just always want to have squash. I mean, I love it. So yeah, I'm sorry. Plant several. Go out there and plant more now. I mean, I'm not sure where you live, but most places, I mean, squash grows pretty fast. I think it's usually like a 50-day until you get a harvest. So as long as you're not like way up north, you should have time. This is a good question, Crystal. She was asking, will wrapping the base help? Yes, for the squash vine borer, for sure, because the squash vine moth that's flying around likes to go to the base of the plant. And if it can't get to that base of the plant, it'll go look for something else. So yes, for sure. Whenever they get large enough to where you are concerned about it, I do the same thing. I will wrap it up with some aluminum foil to try to protect the base of that plant. One other thing that I will mention too is put some radishes like directly around it and underneath. I really noticed a huge difference in the bed that I did that in, because I even saw some squash vine borers, but they were going to the radish instead. And I was like, that's so interesting. But I was like, please go over there, leave my squash alone. So yeah. Yes, for sure. So take some aluminum foil, wrap it around. I've also heard of people doing toilet paper rolls. I haven't done toilet paper rolls for squash before. I don't know how long they would last, but I've definitely done toilet paper rolls for whenever I have issues with cutworms for like little seedlings and things like that. So it definitely has a lot of uses and things like that. Yeah, let's see. And then taking the bug vacuum out is a very big thing for squash bugs, as well as I go out with like my little lint brush roller too, because that's something I can just put in my pocket and go through and just go start collecting my squash bugs. And then powdery mildew is another thing that you need to be watching for, especially with squash and things like that. So this comes around whenever you are watering, if you're watering more about like nighttime, or you're doing getting rain at night, and essentially it's just dampness overnight and poor airflow, and it causes some mildew on the top of your leaves. So you'll notice like the leaves start to turn like a whitish shade. So this happens on squash. It happens commonly on things like zinnias and some other flowers as well too. But there's a lot of really easy solutions for powdery mildew too. So if you notice an issue, I have just like little spray bottles that I fill up with a little bit of milk and water, and I just go out there and spray it, and it always works wonders for me. I never have any issues with that. So, yeah. And then poor fruiting is also sometimes an issue that you can have too. But a lot of the times it's going to be things like pollination issues. Sometimes people will have issues with only male flowers, but it actually is common to, to not have female flowers at the very beginning. So be patient, let the female flowers come up. And then if you need to, if you haven't noticed a lot of pollinators, then try to hand pollinate too if you need to. Sorry, I noticed my charger on my laptop was getting low, and I don't have it with me, so I'm texting my husband really quick. Sorry. The things you get on the live stream, right? Okay. Oh, yes, this is a good call too. So I've had blossom end rot in squash too, for sure. That's definitely something that can happen. I've had blossom end rot on peppers as well too. So blossom end rot is not exclusive to tomatoes. It can happen on anything. And that's essentially, again, that was where if you are doing a lot of, or if you have a lot of like inconsistent watering and things like that. That's a good question. CJ Speed was asking what kind of milk, whole milk, 2% milk, does it matter? I don't think it matters. I was using whole milk because that's what we had. I know who will know. Growbot will know. Let's find Growbot. Okay. Does it matter what kind of milk? Powdery mildew spray. Oh, it can make a difference. Many gardeners use cow's milk, whole milk. Okay. So whole milk is better because of the higher fat content. So 1 part milk with 2 to 3 parts water sprayed on the affected plants. So apply it in the morning on sunny days. There you go. Thank you, Growbot. Always so helpful. Okay, so let's chat about some peppers. So there can be a lot of issues with peppers, with flowers dropping too, especially in the heat, especially with this like 100-degree plus temperature. I know you would think with peppers, you would be like, they should be fine, because they love the heat, but they actually really don't. And they need some like afternoon shade sometimes too, same as tomatoes. And it can really be helpful to give them a little bit of just a break from the sun because it can be so hot. And yeah, so definitely when the heat comes, it can definitely have issues with flowers dropping. But again, I will say, don't stress, just keep going at it. Your peppers will recover. Even if it gets like super hot, whenever the temperatures start dropping again, it will get better. let's see. So sun scald is another thing that you might see too. And that's a picture right here for that. That's actually like that happens to me a lot. You have to be really careful about making sure that you aren't pruning your plants too much because it's really just the sun is just hitting it. So you want to just be careful to not trim too much because I know this happens. A lot of people like top their peppers and they have like them just sitting out into the sun. But I always like I grow everything like all together, and I have like tomatoes and peppers and a huge thing of basil and all of that, and like so it gets shade at different times of the day and all of that. So it's definitely important to have like a little bit of protection and things like that too. I love this. That's cracking up. Let's see. Esther is saying, has anyone tried to overwinter them? Yeah, absolutely. I actually, I've tried keeping some indoors too, and it's worked well. And I brought some too inside last season. I brought a whole bunch in to my garage, and I was able to overwinter them through to February, and then it just got too cold, and I was like, oh man. But yeah. So, but it is absolutely doable. I know a lot of people that do overwinter them. They just bring them inside, and then whenever spring comes, they put them right back out, and you're all good to go. Okay, so the Casey was saying, any tips for growing lettuce? Zone 6, and I've tried 3 times now. It's definitely one of my favorite things to do. It is, thank you. I was warning them. I have a charger now. We're good to go. Thank you. So with lettuce, I will say is one of the biggest things that I do with lettuce is I just go out there and I just go through and sprinkle. And I grow them everywhere. So keep them moist while germinating. I don't start any indoors generally. I just start them directly outdoors. Keep them moist while they're germinating. And typically, I mean, that's all you really have to do. Lettuce is luckily like I'm not sure how you've been growing them, if you've been trying indoors or what, but and also so do it here soon. Probably a little too hot still where you are. I'm not sure where you are, but for most places it's a little too the temperatures aren't great. But up north, if you are like way up north, it's probably going to be just fine right now. But right now, I'm going to be waiting for planting lettuce probably in another month or 2, even maybe. So definitely give it a try. Wait for the temperatures to cool down. They prefer like mild temperatures and all of that. Yes, this is a good tip too from Harry Warp. I choose heat and drought tolerant lettuce cultivars. Yeah. And Park Seed has a lot of amazing heat resistant varieties of lettuce too. They have like a Super Jericho that's really good. There's an actual like Summer Glory blend that's really good. Even the like Sandy and Red Sails are 2 other varieties that are my favorites that are actually known to have more heat tolerance than other ones. So definitely look into like which ones will grow better for like what areas you're trying to do. And if it's for heat, there's specific ones that are great for. If it's for like intense cold, there's really good ones to go for. Okay, they say I'm in zone 6. My best lettuce crotch. Oh, butter crunch. That's one of my husband's favorite one. Just the taste of it is so good. Yeah. Okay. So a common problem that I see that people say is my plants have flowers, but they don't have any fruit. So the first thing I will say is, okay, like, are they getting full sun, first of all? or at least like 6 hours of sun, because that right there can be the difference between getting the fruit and not. Also pollination issues, and if you aren't seeing a lot of butterflies and bees and all of that around, grow some basil around it. Basil will attract them in. Marigolds. Try having other, like a variety of things planted around to try to attract them in. But you technically can pollinate a lot by yourself if you go take like a Q-tip or something like that, and just like go between like a male flower and a female flower. And you also want to watch out for how you're fertilizing your plants, because sometimes if you have things like too much nitrogen in there, that can have issues too with not producing fruit. And you'll have just a whole bunch of like lush green foliage, and you're like, where's all the flowers and fruit? But you need to switch up your fertilizer then. And yes, this is a good call out too, for sure. Excessive heat can absolutely make it so you don't have a lot of good fruit and flower production, and make you lose your flowers sometimes too. So again, hopefully once the temperatures die down a little bit, they will start coming back. Here, I saw another question about lettuce too. Have you grown lettuce in mini smart pots? Yes, I have. I've grown lettuce everywhere. I think at this point I have like little 1 gallon smart pots I've grown them in. I've grown them over here in, I have like little saddle bags that are like cloth bags essentially, that I have like hanging on the side of a raised bed. I've grown lettuce in my green stalk tower. I've grown them everywhere. So yes, lettuce is great to sneak in everywhere. And I mean, technically you might be able to sneak it in now if you're planting like in the shade, maybe like underneath your tomatoes or something like that. Try to give it a little bit of shade whenever it's this hot. Yes, zinnias will absolutely help to bring in butterflies. I was out there yesterday. I was like, oh my gosh, these zinnia, like the zinnias were just covered in butterflies. They were just everywhere. I absolutely love it. Well, this is an interesting thing. Crystal was saying, I've heard that red lettuce is more resistant to pests. Is that true? So I don't know what the scientific is on this, but in my opinion, in my experience, I have definitely seen that things like red lettuce, purple broccoli, red express cabbage, things like that are like a unique color, that aren't just the like the green, does seem to not get as much pest pressure. It's very interesting, because I actually made a video about it the last year, because I was out in the garden and I was like, okay, this cabbage right next to this cabbage and this green one is just eaten, like completely eaten by the cabbage worms and all of that. But yet this red express cabbage that I have right next to it is beautiful and perfect and intact. Like it's very interesting how they pick and choose. And it seems to me that it is because of the color, but like, I don't know if it's like scientifically proven or anything, but in my experience, yes, I agree with this. And again, don't be surprised in the heat if your garden just kind of slows down. It is very common. It is hot right now. I mean, I slow down when I get hot too. Like I want to take a seat and chill. But sometimes it's just chilling, keeping it moist, keep watering it. It will come back whenever it is ready to go, and whenever it does that. Oh, Esther has scientific. Okay, she says studies showed that insects weren't attracted by red leaves. Interesting. Yeah, that's very interesting. Okay. I feel like we covered a lot of problems today, but do you guys have any other questions or anything like that? And I'm going to go through and run a giveaway here too, and get a drawing going. But like I said, in the meantime, if you guys have any questions, let me know. And also too, right here, if you guys aren't already, again, in the Seed to Spoon app, make sure you download that, because you can come in here. Even if you don't have premium, you can still come in here and type in a couple gardening questions a day. You can just come in here and type in a question. If you do have premium, you can send a picture and do all that too, which I do a lot, just because it helps me. I'll take a picture and I'll be like, okay, what's going on here? Because sometimes there's random bugs out there. I'm like, I don't even know what that is. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna give me a minute here while I do a giveaway. And we're going to be drawing a giveaway for a free 1-year premium Seed to Spoon app subscription. If you do not already have it, make sure you download it right now. There's the QR code right there. And if you're watching after the fact, or if you're joining us right now and you don't win and you want to win, right after this live stream ends, it is going to post back up. So go back in, leave another comment, and you'll be entered in to win. And then you will definitely be entered in. And we'll do another one next week. Okay, but here we go. Drum roll. Looks like we got a couple drum rolls going. Okay, here we go. The winner is, congratulations to M. Phil. Congratulations. Send me an email here at info@seedtospoon.net, and I will get you all hooked up with your free year. Everyone else, like I said, if you want to win, please comment in after the fact, and you'll get entered in to win. I do these every week. I think next week I'm going to be joined in with Edvin from Smart Pots. He's going to be joining us. We're going to be talking about some quick things that we can grow in some containers, even if you don't have a lot of time, and how to grow things in small spaces, all that. So it'll be a fun week next week. So thank you all so much for joining. And I hope to see you all next week. Same time, same place. Thank you all. Bye.